saying redirecting to Facebook. I think we are live now.
Oh.
Let's check in to see if we are live.
I think it's live.
Ooh. Pardon me. Don't want to watch. I want to be live.
We're live.
Are we live?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, we're live. We're live. Okay. Hey, Raquel. So lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here. It's an absolute honor to have you here with us today. It's the first time I'm using a live link over Zoom, so thank you for letting me know that we are live. Would you like to introduce yourself? Let us know a little bit more about you. You're a mother of 3, but would you like to tell us a little bit more about what you do, what your professional background is, and how long you've worked in your industry?
I'm a loan officer. I've been a loan officer the last 7 years. First retail, now I'm a broker. And I made the switch because it allowed me to expand the people I was helping. Yeah. I don't know.
And who do you help? Who do you help?
So I predominantly help people that are self-employed. So they're business owners, and a lot of the times they, like other loan officers, don't want to work with them because, well, they're more complicated. There's more things for us to submit, or there could be things that I guess there's more risk to those transactions. So other loan officers don't want to work with self-employed individuals.
Yeah, and you have the patience and expertise to be able to work with these particular clients so that they can make their dreams come true and purchase their property.
Yeah.
And so I've had the honor to work with you now, I think, for over the last 12 months on and off. So I think we first started working together last October. So it's actually been over 12 months where we've worked together on and off. So would you like to tell us what particular symptoms of stress, what particular stress related symptoms were you experiencing when we first started working together back in October, when you approached me for help? Do you remember what particular symptoms you were experiencing?
So I wouldn't say it was stress. When I first reached out to you, I felt a void, right? I felt like, I think job-wise or career-wise, everything was going just fine. I had a good stable income that I was generating monthly. I had an assistant that was working full-time for me, and I still felt this void, like I was missing something. And so I felt like I could expand my business, that I could that I was ready to reach the next level, right? And so magically, the universe gave me you.
Yeah, we randomly connected over Facebook. Yeah, it was the universe that connected us, definitely. And so you had this void, and you were obviously looking to expand your business. Then how was this void that you were having things snowball. When you're experiencing one thing and you're feeling one thing, it snowballs into other areas of your life. So this void that you were having, and which was kind of where you felt you were ready to expand your business, how was this void also showing up from, like, how was this holding you back from taking your business to the next level?
Why, I had no idea how to take it to the next level. I really truly had no idea. And then there's also the portion where what I thought I wanted wasn't necessarily in line with me. Because like I wanted to $5x or $6x my business. And when we started working together, I was able to achieve that. But that cost me an insane amount of stress. I wasn't ready to grow that quickly. I mean, it was like months, right? Like I started working with you, and then suddenly I had an insane amount of work that I started to do. Or I had out of the blue. It was pretty cool, right? So, but as we kept working together, I learned that wasn't, I mean, it was, so it felt like a part of that void had been filled, but only because I had an immense amount of work. And I had dreamed for years that I would have, that I would be a top producer. I feel like since I started in the business, a year later after starting in the business, I wanted to be a top producer. And for 6 years, I had not, 5-6 years, I had not achieved that. And so here I was finally on my way to being one of the top producers, not just for my company, but for like the nation. And there were a lot of unresolved things that started to come up. That started showing up in my life, and so I had to put a pause to that, right? I had to take a step back and figure out if that was really what I wanted. In part, like being gentle and being aligned or in communication with my staff, but also I had to really analyze and figure out if that's really what I wanted to do. And it turns out that it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to be a top producer, that I wanted to help more people, but that I needed to help them fully, right? And I guess, so a good portion of the people that I help are immigrants or Spanish speakers. And so as they buy their first home or an investment home, they don't necessarily have the background or the knowledge to be successful. And so what taking a step back has allowed me to do is help them holistically. And so that has been very rewarding. And even though I'm not helping the number of people that I thought I was going to help, it's been really, really rewarding, and it's been fulfilling and amazing.
You know, when you say that you were able to be a top producer, what does that actually mean? And also, what's so beautiful about you being one of the top producers, especially in the industry that you work in, is like, here's a woman from obviously a minority ethnic group that is dominating and being so successful in a male dominated industry. And to be fair, it's an industry which is very white, male dominated, but there you are, you know, a woman from a minority ethnic group standing there and being a top producer, which obviously empowers other women, other people from, you know, a certain ethnicity to be able to achieve. So what does it mean, you know, being a top producer? Because some of the listeners may not be aware of what that is within your industry.
Okay, so there's, I guess, like 3 levels of achievement. The easier one is closing over $1 million a month, then 2 million, and then 3.5 and above. And so, like, very, very few people are able to close 400 or 350 units. Or like, you know, to talk about like normal terms, being able to help 200 plus families, right? But you start getting recognized when you have 5 or more transactions a month. And so my dream was to help as many people as possible. But what I found out, well, what I felt was it took a lot away from the personal side of the business. Yeah, so I started to resent my job more than what I had, because I love my job. I love helping people. And not having the right staff makes things a lot harder and stressful. But
so as your business grew, there was another hurdle you then had to overcome, which was recruiting the right staff, being able to communicate with them, and then going back to the drawing board and figuring out what's in alignment with who you are and what your truth is. Is it a case of being the top producer, generating 1 million a month or 3 million a month, you know, whatever you were achieving at that point, but actually going back and figuring out who you are, self-acceptance, coming back home to your truth, rather than just trying to chase a goal. So, you know, going back to this void that you had, was it impacting your relationship with your children? What about your physical health? Was there any, you know, was it kind of, you know, were you experiencing any physical symptoms? You know, what was your relationship with your children?
Well, the void, I don't think I had any physical symptoms, but it was like I wanted more and more and more. You know, I thought by producing more or having more clients, it would help fill the void. Because I knew I was capable of so much more than I was doing. And so I was on a mission to get it to being fulfilled, I guess, right? And that caused me to spend less time with my family. So, yeah.
So where are you? So we've worked together. It's been like a beautiful journey together. Where are you now? Now that you've healed this void, and now that you've healed this void, where are you now in terms of your business and your connection with who you are?
Well, I guess as far as my business goes, I'm producing about the same as I was last year when I had this void, but I'm generating more wealth. I have more time to spend with my family and kids, and I'm overall like happier, right? It's it, it's working with you has given me the opportunity to take back my life, to take back the time I share and cherish with my children.
Was it worth investing in yourself and healing that void and understanding it? You're an investor. You could have easily have, put a down payment for another investment property, or you could have upgraded your car, or, was it worth you investing in yourself and, getting to the root cause of this void?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was up to recently, I had always felt like unfulfilled, despite that I have done so much in school, at my job, like everything. I felt unfulfilled. And so being able to work through that has been amazing.
And if there's someone like that's listening to this and it's kind of like unsure, especially like some of the vehicles that we use as part of the transformation, which includes hypnotherapy, any energy alignment tools to overcome stress. What was your favorite? What has been your favorite vehicle? And if anyone is reluctant to use that vehicle, what would you have to say to them?
I mean, as women, I don't know. I've always struggled between being a mom, being a businesswoman, and then my career, right? And I say between being a businesswoman and in my career is because despite that I have a like 6-figure job, I'm also a businesswoman. I'm an investor, and I love that. And having enough time for doing everything I love is important to me. And so, in having enough time and enjoying it, because there was also the time where I was like on vacation and constantly working, right? And so, like, I don't know. So being able to find peace and being able to find just pushing out what I needed in order to feel happy and give my family what they need has been an immense gift. That going through some of the tools that are used, even if you don't feel comfortable, it's still worth it, right? I don't know that there was any that I disliked or any that I loved. I think they all have a place, and they're very useful for whatever comes up, right?
Oh,
And it's really cool that you have the expertise and knowledge to be able to use a lot of different techniques.
thank you. What's your goal for the next 12 months? Now that you've healed this void, you're feeling happier, you're fulfilled, feeling more confident growing your business and recruiting the right people to make your vision a reality. What would you like to achieve in the next 12 months to the next 5 years? Long-term, short and long-term goals.
Well, my long-term goals, or my 5-year goal is to pay off my house. My short-term goal is to learn how to keep more of my money and find financial prosperity. Yeah. So just developing the relationship that I have with money, and not necessarily like I don't have to spend it all. It doesn't have to leave. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It does make sense. It really makes sense, because what happens with high achieving women as their business grows, psychologically, it's about spending the money, and we can kind of let go of money. In terms of psychological aspect, it's called, sabotage money, but that again is a label. So, but that I'm using as reference purposes. So I really understand what you mean. How are you feeling now, 12 months after working one-to-one? How is Raquel feeling?
I feel whole. I feel happy. Yeah. I mean, that in a nutshell, that's I feel complete.
And how are your kids feeling? Because when we feel whole, when we've healed and we feel whole, it also impacts them. And so have you seen a positive difference? Have you seen a difference in your children's behavior as you have been, working on your inner self and growing your internal world?
No, but my kids are getting into like preteens.
Oh.
Well, yeah, so it's
That
a struggle. Yeah.
Oh. Before we end this lovely interview, and do you have a message for anyone that's kind of struggling right now? A woman who's a working mom, she's an expert in her industry, is an expert at what she does, but she's just struggling and she feels like yourself, something's missing. She may be experiencing stress, which is causing her maybe physical symptoms. What message would you have for her?
It's super important to invest in yourself before anything else. Because as Suemya said, if you invest in yourself, that will transcend into other parts of your life, to your kids, your husband, maybe. I don't know. I hope so. I mean, it's like, so if you communicate and and whatnot. It will. So it'll transcend to other family members. But also, if you take care of you, you'll be in a better position to take care of your family. So I highly recommend taking the time and putting yourself first, investing in you, whether it's education, self-care, therapy. It's so important to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, it's especially women now, with us trying to juggle everything and how life is so busy and so challenging and so many demands. We're pulled from so many different directions. Like you said, it's whatever support you can get. It's so important to have that in your corner. Thank you so much for your time. Love you loads. And thank you for sharing your journey and your beautiful message with the rest of the world. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.